damage tool does have to be relegated more towards Flays, boxes, and lanterns. So, you know, hopefully Riev able to play a little bit more further up in this lane, a little bit more aggressive. No pressure to make the early game, you know, the be-all and end-all. Still have some kill potential, so they can still play aggressive, but, you know, there's other ways for Chitan to be able to take over this game.
Man on your screen right now, Xantins. Remember, he struggled against Licorice.
Oh, jumps in
against Cloud9, but Steel's gonna be in some trouble now. Chitan with that aggro, looking to go in, start this fight off. Can they get themselves away? Ooh. Detonation focus me now, looking to turn this one right back around. Riev gets taken down for first blood. Unipod looking to find even more, maybe now. Chitan trying to get the damage down onto him as Ranger also finds those threaded volleys. Gets himself back over the wall, trying to stay alive now. Steel's in some trouble, gonna be seismic shoved back the other way! And Ranger gets the kill, 1-for-1.
That was so close coming out of Steel. You could see, he could see the double kill right there, but it is not to be. Back and forward. MVP of that fight was Unipod. He marched into 3 members and got his man. Teleport's gonna be burnt into this bottom lane.
Not really a good trade for a Drake, but you get what you can. As here comes your Scion ultimate. Nice job making sure he curves it away there. Decimating Smash also looking to set up the follow-up CC there.
The cavalry.
They're going very deep on this when a Kabum could find themselves very heavily punished. Ornald over the wall, setting things up for Steel. Can they find any more here? Xantins tries to get himself away. Tom Kench makes his way into the fight now as well. Shinkato trying to fight these guys off here on the top side, but it's Vivid. One more big gobble him up, and he takes him down as Xantins tries to hobble his way out, but Lamb and Wolf together should have the damage. And Steel gets him as well. Tragedy for Kabum.
And that was a 5v3 because they read the play so nicely and Evie outplays them, holds a flash to the last moment, baits them in. Sure, Kabum get the first turret, but that should be traded topside. And all of a sudden, Steel is back in this game. And this was a shutout performance by Ranger at the start.
Very important for this Kindred. Runic Echo's now also done on the Talia for Ranger. It's one of those games, so often in League of Legends, you see junglers being melee champions. There are more ranged junglers than in the past right now, but having Kindred versus Talia, it's so volatile.
Yeah.
Because neither one of them is that exceptional if they fall too far behind, but if they get ahead, they're super oppressive. And we'll see if Detonation Focus Me can make this mid lane turret happen. Horn gets sounded off. Second part not gonna connect. Detonation Focus Me is very far forward. It's gonna be Kindred ult dropped immediately. Health bars are gonna be taken very low. The seismic wall comes out. They're making sure they're keeping them back. There comes the team fight. There comes the near wipe. Detonation Focus Me don't have a snowball's chance. And now they've only got one man standing. It's a 1-for-4. Make it a 1-for-5 if they can manage to pick him up here. Saros trying to kite this one out is going to be slowed down, and Chitan turns away too early. Saros, if you get away from this one, there's no way.
Yeah, there's no way.
He's
going to go throw a Q at the wave, try and get some CS for himself, check out the scenic route that is the bottom of Summoner's Rift. That's the smallest bunny hop of all time, but eventually...
that took so much longer than I thought it would, though. 15 minutes in feels really good. As Vivid does a good job keeping Saros alive there, utilizing the Devour, but now it's going to be Steel who's in some trouble, is taken very low. Lambs just probably going to keep him alive just for a moment longer. Xantin's going to be in some trouble here, trying to keep himself at least a distraction for the rest of the team. Heavy's on the front line, will take some damage from that dead body Scion passive. Weaver's wall comes out, Ranger over the wall. Chitan also going to be finding the damage now down on the Saros. Still looking to turn it right back around. Resets coming in. Is this what they need? Over the wall goes Vivid, keeping that 80 carry barely alive. Shinkato wants to follow, can't quite find the damage. Ranger still wants to chase it, needs a little bit of damage to do so. Gets the smite just like he was a minion. Vivid's going to be taken down next. Shinkato grabs that one and Kabum takes out 3 from Detonation Focus
And
Me.
finally, we see the team fighting that Kabum has really built their season upon, but this time they didn't chase too far. They're going to be able to pick up the objectives, and things are looking very good right now for the Brazilian lineup. Detonation Focus Me, they're sticking with it. They are looking to respond in kind. The flick off the former CC as actually Chitan just dives in. All right, nothing much happening there. But it is another thing to be able to take your moment and look for the wall whilst the fight is happening. It's one more time, they're starting this one up.
They sound off the Ornhorn, finding a lot of damage, and that's a big shutdown for Detonation.
Yeah, it certainly is. And I mean, one of the things that Detonation has going in their favor is how cheap their item builds are. You know, this isn't a crit 80 carry going to go towards a Gwynzu. This isn't a mage that is relying on
Shrubbery. and it looks like Kabum will be just fine.
Yeah, and two really nice wards down in the bottom lane now for Danchins. He knows that they're trying to collapse onto him and use the teleport of Yutapon to get back towards the Baron play, so he scouts out the two most likely avenues that Yutapon is going to look to attack that. Evie does his job, gets the push, backs into the jungle, and he's going to start trying to clear that out. But you can see that at this stage of the game, without a pick, Detonation Focus Me are going to struggle to fight 5v5.
Looks like the Horn goes off yet again, and that could be a big pick to the side of Detonation Focus Me to grab the enemy mid laner and shut down credit over to Yutapon. Tied in kills now with the enemy Tristan.
That is twice in a row that Yutapon has been the beneficiary of the shutdown. In comes the train.
Weaver's Wall plus the Scion ulti coming in. This could be the fight. We'll see if they can find anything. Still going to be 4 versus 5. Xanthus in some trouble. Going to be shredded very rapidly. Cheetah grabbing the kill onto Vivid. Ranger's alone, trying to kite himself away from Evie. Detonation Focus Me still looking to find even more. Evie continues this chase. Manages to tag Ranger with the slow. Yutapon chasing after this one. You want to give the money over to the 80 carry? You can do it just like that. Yutapon getting those kills.
Time and time again, Yutapon is the beneficiary of these picks, and whilst they are still behind in gold, building up this Varus, building up, once again, a late game scaling 80 carry means that with the Karma in the mid lane, it's only going to get better for Detonation Focus Me. Kabum really just need to take that deep breath and reset up around objectives. They're trying to provide threat. Hook is on here.
On to Evie, who should be that front liner, but still going to evaporate rather quickly. Goes out the shield to get rid of the explosive charge damage. And
Maybe
Kabum.
not the ultimate that Xanthus was looking for there as he just headbutted the wall, but it still will mean Baron is started up here. Still have the ultimate, but that is a very... Oh, he's just going to headbutt it. Headbutt it, Evie. You can take it down.
Weaver's Wall trying to keep them away. And they go. The Ornn ulti comes out. Lamb's Spike gets thrown down. It's going to be secured by Detonation Focus Me! And Kabum gets exploded! Over the wall they go. They're looking to clean up all the kills as well. Ranger having to run away. He couldn't secure it with the smite. Now he's going to lose his life. The collapse is here. And Kabum has been routed!
They certainly have. They've exploded. Another 2 members are going to go down. DFM also pushing the mid lane wave. This is a game back on their terms.
Detonation Focus Me from picks into Baron steals into aces have clawed their way back into this game and are now barreling down the mid lane.
And they are now so far ahead, Flowers. This is going to be like a 6,000 gold swing. They're going to take 2 turrets mid lane. They're going to take net probably an inhibitor. Top lane turrets are also going to be prepared, as well as a bottom lane turret falling down. The map has just been decimated.
This team has done wonders in this mid-game. We talked about Kabum being an explosive mid-game team. Detonation Focus Me says, hold my beer.
And it couldn't happen to one of the better, nicer teams. You know, you don't talk about it a lot, but personality-driven players are important. Yutapon, such a humble guy, has been around with his team for the longest time, 7, 2, and 5, putting on a carry performance. But you got to feel for Kabum, because when you look at this, you're like, okay, we've got out the flash, he's half health. We've got access to the Baron. They can't get in, they can't steal it. They put down Steel's ultimate to try and deny it. That doesn't work, and it is a straight arrow to the knee that costs them that team fight.
And now, that stray arrow to Baron Nashor's knee means you've got a team Baroned up, pushing down the bottom lane. One of our critiques of Kabum and ways that they've lost games before is isolated death count being very high. And those isolated deaths in the mid-game are what allowed Detonation to stall things out this far. Missed ulti from Yutapon. That's a pretty big team fight tool not available. The name of the game right now for Kabum, stall this out. Weather this storm. You still have a Tristana. You still have a player that's one hell of a hyper carry. He goes over the wall. He tries to go in. Weaver's Wall comes through. It's not going to separate anyone. Detonation Focus Me fall back and regroup. But here we go. Turret be damned. They're going ham. Chinkato taken very low. Going to be knocked up into the air like they're taken down here. Riev can't get back into the Lamb's Respite. He's taken down as well. The push continues. It's 5v3. They're knocking on the door to Kabum's base. They'll knock that sucker right in. It's inhibitor number 2 under pressure, going to be taken down very simply, very effectively. Minions are already there from the mid lane as well. On to the Nexus turrets they go. It was rough early game, but Detonation Focus Me are wanting to end this one now. Chiton has to jump away, and that means the second Nexus turret is done as well. Nexus under fire. Detonation Focus Me. Hell of a comeback. First victory.
What a way to kick off Worlds 2018 for DETONATION Focus Me. They fell behind, but this team with Baron is so decisive, and they took everything off the map. One mistake for Kabum, and the game is over.
What a comeback for the representatives from the LJL. When this game was paused, we were talking about how this is your chance to say, look, we know that Japan hasn't had the performances on the international stage they would like to in the past couple of big events, but that's because they didn't send us. Now you come here with 4 players who have never played on the world stage before as this team that is so dominant in their own region and say, here's why we win all of our games. Here's why we have a 90% win rate in both games and sets in the LJL. DETONATION Focus Me pulled it off.